tab, just tell your bartender the code word viewfinder. And we'll get back to the veterinary viewfinder here in a little while because I think we're nominated for kind of an award for the same category. So
Going
so
up
props
against
with
them, yeah.
them. We'll talk more about that here in a little while. But anyway, guys, welcome into the Vet Tech Tap Room. Dave, should we jump off with our dinner party questions?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's do those first. You
All
want to go
right.
first?
Sure. Is there a place that feels like home to you, even if it's not where you live?
Place that feels like home. Um, New England.
Yeah.
Like when I go up to New England to see family, to see my New Hampshire friends, it feels very familiar. I mean, I spent 20 years up there, so
Yeah.
it feels very familiar to me when I go to Manchester. Fenway Park obviously is another one. Uh, the Bull Stadium here in Durham, that also feels like a second home to me because I spent so much time there. Yeah, I would say baseball stadiums and New England
Yeah.
are where I feel like I'm most at home. I feel most comfortable,
Yeah.
even though they're not technically my home. But if I
Right.
win the lottery one of
Yeah.
these days,
You're gonna buy the Bulls.
I'll buy the Bulls just so I
Yep.
can. I'll
Yep.
build a suite so I can just live there.
Yep.
But I guess to do that, I kind of have to like buy a
Gotta
ticket and stuff.
play
So
the lottery.
can't win if you don't play. All right, my dinner party question for you. I think you'll enjoy this one. If you were to become a home brewer, what style of beer would you make, and what would be the name of your beer?
So actually, several years ago, I got a like kind of all in
Yeah,
one homebrew kit from
I
Mr.
used to do
Beer.
that a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the first beer I brewed was a pale ale,
Okay.
and I called it Packerbacker.
Okay.
Packerbacker Pale Ale. It turned out pretty good. I made 2 beers on that system that I thought were actually really quite good.
Hmm.
One was a blueberry lager, which
Of
was
course it
great
was.
in the summer, and then I also made a stout that turned out
Yep.
delicious.
Yep.
So and I haven't I have I mean, I don't even have the equipment for it anymore, but I think nowadays, I like the whole hazy IPA, New England IPA thing didn't even really exist when I was
Yeah.
brewing
Yeah.
back then. And those are reportedly like super easy to turn over. That's why like every brewery has like
Yeah.
20 of them on tap.
Yeah.
So I'd probably try my hand at one of those. And I've only ever done like a couple of batches on like an actual system where you like, do like basically a 5-gallon batch.
Yep. Yep.
And that was great. It was a clone of a brewery up in Northern California called Russian River. It was one of their single IPAs called Blind Pig, which is the West Coast. It's really good. And it turned out really, really good.
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe someday I'll get back to it, but
I mean,
I think
I still have all my equipment, like the 5 gallon drums and I wasn't like the super involved, like where we make the mash. I
Mhm.
had like extract kits, so
Yeah.
a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
You don't. It's not as. Uh, it's easier to not mess up with
Sure.
those.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's more like following a recipe,
Yeah,
and,
exactly. Yeah.
I had all that stuff too. I moved it all to New England, and then when I moved from Massachusetts to Rhode Island, I was like, I'm not gonna do anything with this for a while. It's time to just get rid of it all." And so I did. I actually found like a home brewer page in New England, and I basically traded it all for a whole bunch of beer.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
The
Well,
guy
and then
was like,
and
I can't afford to buy it. And I was like, dude, I'm actually just looking to get rid of it so I don't have to
yep,
move it. And he brought me like a cooler full of
yeah,
like great New England stouts. And I was
yep.
like, this is amazing. So
Well, and the thing for me, like when I moved from New England down here, like I got rid of mine because the equipment was not super expensive to
yeah.
like it maybe
And
less
it,
than
it just
less than
doesn't
100
store
bucks.
very easily.
No, it
It's
does not. No.
bulky
Yep.
and yeah. So
It was
it's
literally less than $100, and I was like, if I want to do this again, it's another $100.
yeah,
Not a big
yeah,
deal.
for
I
sure.
still have the stuff now, but I haven't had the time or the desire really to do it
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Um, because I mean, there's tons of breweries here that I don't need to make my own. Like
Right.
it was fun. And last year, I want to say it was around this time last year, I went and did that home brewer or
Hmm.
brewery for a day at the Flying Bull here in Durham. And I got to see all the cool equipment, how they did it. And it's I mean, the way that brewers do stuff now, even at like a smaller batch place, like Flying Bull, is it's all automated.
It's so automated,
Like
yeah.
you hit buttons to say, okay,
This
it sends this much
temperature,
grain,
this
this
yep,
temperature. Yeah, so it's not as I don't want to say fun, but it's not as like nuanced as it used to
yeah,
be, I guess. But
yeah,
I mean that's what it is. That's the
yeah,
nature of it.
that's
And
what it
mine,
is.
I think I called mine Naughty Goat beer because it was like right
Nice.
after we got the goats. So
Nice, nice. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah,
I love it. Well, I suppose we should dive into some
yeah.
veterinary content.
Yeah,
Enough about beer and baseball. However, baseball, we've got some new merch coming out. We're
yep.
still 6 weeks away from spring training, which you guys know, Dave and I, we're going to talk about that in a little while. But we've got some new merch coming out that's kind of baseball related. I think a little bit. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, good stuff. So we got nominated for the Bridge Club is something that we spoke with Catherine
Catherine
Hankins
Haskins at
Haskins
Hive.
at Hive last year,
Yeah,
and
not
I,
2025, 2024.
right. So and we were gonna have her on, but things never really
Yeah.
materialized. But she reached out to us earlier this week and said you got nominated for an award, and whoever nominated us, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Reveal yourself because
Yeah.
we would
We'd love to
we
know
would love
who.
to thank you personally. Like if obviously it's one of the caffeinators, so thank you for that. And they sent us a link that is on. We posted it. I posted it yesterday on Facebook, and I believe I posted it also on Instagram. And we were nominated for the Bright Minds Award, which is, and we are in the industry influencers category. We were nominated with the Veterinary Viewfinder, our denizens that record out of the basement of the Vet Tech Tap Room, and also someone named Ryan Leach, who I'd never heard of. He does a bird bath podcast, which is basically vet med news, and I think he does it every week. So we're in competition with those three or with those other two people. There's other categories that are the practice game changers and the wellness champions. The wellness champions, there's somebody that follows our page that said that she voted for us, and I also voted for her because I believe she was the only technician in the category. So obviously, I'm gonna represent the technicians in that.
Heck yeah.
And Blue Buffalo is sponsoring it, so thank you to Buffalo. So the voting is open. It opened
Now, yeah.
yesterday,
Yep.
and it goes through January 26th. So the website is on our the post that we made. It's thebridgeclub.com/bright minds voting, and that's how you get to the voting page, so you can vote for us. Thank you for voting for us. We've already seen a lot of people that have responded on the post that say that they have voted for us, so thank you for that. I
Yeah.
wish we could like track like where we're at with that, but I
I
guess
know.
we'll just
Yeah,
have to
probably
wait.
good that we can't.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait till the end. And the way that it works is that 50% of the vote comes from the general public. So you as the audience will vote for that. And then 50% comes from the previous Bright Minds Awards winners. I wish I knew who those were so we could like maybe cozy up to
Lobby
them
them.
and lobby them to help vote for us.
No, we
And
don't
then
wanna
the
buy the award.
no, we don't want to buy the award, but I mean, an award's an award. And voting closes on the 26th, and they notify the winners on January 28th. And apparently, they present it to the winners at Hive, or
No,
not at
at
Hive,
Western, yeah, at
at
Western,
WVC
WVC.
Western Veterinary Conference, which I believe is like in a couple weeks, which we
Yeah,
weren't
it's
planning to go to, so it's not something we're going to be able to go to.
yeah,
Um, but I guess we'll get mentioned if we win, which would be great.
yeah,
And so yeah, hopefully we do well. And again, thank you to whoever nominated us.
yeah.
That's great.
It's
We
awesome
didn't
to
even
just be
know about
nominated,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and the email came to us as a complete surprise. Like we're like, oh, Bridge Club, we've been in touch with them, and they're like, hey, you're gonna win an award, and I guess there's a cash prize or of some sort. Don't
Yeah,
know what
I
it
don't know.
is.
Yeah,
Not what we're in it for, but
yeah,
awesome. And
yeah.
Thank you for voting for us if you voted for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So thank you for nominating us. Thank you for the votes. It
Yeah.
really means a lot to be recognized, even with just the nomination. So
Yeah.
so thank you, caffeinators. So again, voting is open until January 26th. Go to bridgeclub.com. There's a link on the homepage. You can find the voting section and
Yeah.
give us a vote. Love
Yeah.
it. We've got some travel coming up.
I have a lot of travel coming up this spring. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got
We
our
just yeah, go ahead.
Phoenix. Our
Mhm,
Phoenix trips are our flights are booked.
mhm.
Our lodging with Brandy Halawa
Assam.
and Assam are quote unquote booked. They
Mhm.
basically just said show up. We've got your beds ready for you. So that's going to be what are the dates of those? March
That's
7th to
it's the 7th to the 10th, I
the
believe it
10th.
is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna go to a bunch of games.
Yep. Yeah, Saturday the 7th to Tuesday the 10th.
Yeah.
We'll go to a bunch of games, couple of breweries, do all our normal stuff. Our all-staff meeting, which is everybody on this call right now,
Yep.
and some strategic planning, get some new kind of merch and ideas rolled out for the year, uh, and then from there, we're home for
Like a week.
a weekend, and then the following weekend, so 2 weeks later, we go to
Two
Hive
weeks later. Yeah.
again.
Yep.
So we go back to Hive in this time it's the Hive Midwest, but it's in Covington, Kentucky. And
Yep.
if you're unfamiliar with Covington, Kentucky, it's just across the river from Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's actually where the Cincinnati airport is. So it's technically in Kentucky, but we are right across the river from Cincinnati. And we will be there Friday the 20th. And then Saturday and Sunday 21, 22 is the actual Hive conference. They asked us to do a live episode there, which is going to be super fun. We've wanted to do one. We just
We've
logistically
tried.
haven't we really haven't figured out how to do that, because obviously we don't want to compete with
Right.
any of the presenters. Lunch is always loud and busy. The like happy hour that they do after the first day, the focus is on the exhibitors. Again, we don't want to take anything away from anybody else, but also we would love to have it'll be like a regular episode, but I think we'll have a couple of maybe the Hive champions come and just chat with us for a couple minutes. It'll be like a regular full-length episode, but we'll do it just in this format. We'll probably do it live,
Yeah.
and then record the audio and upload it as a regular episode. So when that episode rolls around, you guys know our IT incapabilities, so bear with us as we probably fumble through the tech to actually make it happen. But I think what we'll probably do is, while we're in Phoenix, kind of do a dry run of a
Yeah.
tap room
Yeah.
and make sure that everything works and goes according to plan, that we've got all the correct adapters and connectors and everything. That way we can actually just do it at Hive. So that'll be the third weekend in March. There's going to be another Hive in San Antonio first weekend of May. Dave, I don't know about you, but I'm not planning to go to that one.
I'm not going. I don't think I'm going to that one.
The following one is in Charlotte.
Is it Charlotte yet? Have they decided
They
Charlotte?
they did decide that.
Oh, they did. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't see that.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
They
good.
did decide that. I forget what weekend it is, but I think it's early October,
Oh, I thought
if
that
I'm
was.
not
I thought that
or
was the
maybe
one that was in
it's
August.
or maybe
I think
August.
that's in
That's
August,
August.
and
You're
the
right.
October one is going to be West Coast somewhere.
Yes, and then the West Coast one at the end of the year, which the last 2 years has been Anaheim. They have not finalized and announced yet, but there is first weekend in May in San Antonio, and then August will be in Charlotte. If all goes well, I will try to come out to Charlotte
Mhm.
for that one, and then hopefully the West Coast. At least I can make work if you can't. But so yeah, a couple more of those this year, which is going to be fun. We do have a discount code for registration. Previously, it was cafe. I think that's what it's going to be again. But as soon as we have all that information, we'll post it on our socials. If you're anywhere in kind of northern Kentucky, southern Ohio, kind of the
Cincinnati
Ohio
area. Yeah.
Valley. Yeah, if you're coming to Hive, we'd love to see you. Let us know if you're going to be there. We'll definitely keep an eye out for you. The program, we'll post all the information, kind of repost it from them, but it looks like another great program of clinical stuff, of kind of professional development, leadership kind of stuff, some practice management kind of stuff. It's a really, really unique program. I highly recommend if you've not been to one, especially if you've never been to a conference, you won't find a more affordable conference
Yeah. Yeah.
with such high quality content. So, highly recommend checking it out. And then, Dave, you're also coming my way again
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
With Robin on like a recruiting trip to Western Vet School, which is
Yep.
about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on
Okay.
traffic for me. So we'll
Yeah, we'll be there for the weekend. I'm just gonna be like, I've got no agenda. I'm just a travel princess, which is what something I love to do. I like to
yeah.
think of myself as a travel princess when we go to Phoenix because you figure everything out. I just have to get my flight and get
You
myself
just got to
there,
get there.
and then I just show up and and
Yeah.
and and you lead me around to breweries and to baseball stadiums and uh, it's probably one of my favorite vacations is because I don't have to do anything other than book my flight.
Yeah, well, and I love kind of coordinating some of that stuff, but it's also it's like it's truly such a fun, relaxing
Oh
weekend.
yeah,
Like we
yeah,
get a lot of work done, but we also like relax a good bit and take in baseball, and it's like kind of the kickoff to the baseball
yeah,
season.
yeah.
And so yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that as well. So so keep an eye out for us if you go to Hive. We'll also be in Phoenix. Kind of post our itinerary there. Hopefully, we get to see some of our Phoenix caffeinators, and then obviously we'll do more throughout the year. And then of course as summer rolls around, we'll be talking about IVEX again soon because we'll be in
Yeah.
Savannah, Georgia in September. So kind of a lot of places you can catch Dave and I this year. Kind of on the news front, if you will, we haven't really talked about it yet. Big shakeup at NAVTA.
Mhm.
And I also wanted to post a little bit of a carve to update. So the California RVT
Sure.
Association, I have officially termed off of the board.
Wow, after how many years? How many years were you on the
Uh,
board?
David Liss recruited me to
Oh
the
my
Carve to
goodness.
Board in 2012. So almost 14 years I have been
Wow.
on the Carve to Board.
Did they give you a
Um,
cake? Like, did they give you a retirement cake or something?
no, no, I got a gold watch. No, I'm kidding.
A gold.
You know, our past president, Patty Zana, who's going to be on our show sometime in the spring, probably, and then our past president before her, Anita Hudson, and then I was the president before her. We've had a lot of really great leadership. I just kind of wanted to shout out some people that I worked with along the way. Obviously, that David Liss, who recruited me to the board. We now have Steven Sital as our president, who has already injected a ton of life and energy into the association. And we had nominations late fall, and so we have, I believe it's 8 new board members. I want to shout them out: Cassidy
Wow, okay.
Abramson, Mandy Helton, who's VTS
Yeah,
ECC,
yeah.
Allison Mott, Charlie Garupa, Chelsea Capaccio, Lucy Nash, who we saw at Hive
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Anaheim, one of our biggest caffeinators who comments and likes all of our stuff, Ava Figueroa, is
Oh,
now
great.
on
Oh, good
the
for
Carve
her.
to Board. So super stoked for all of them. I think there's already so much energy and excitement about where this is headed, and the and I want to say just thank you so much to all the board members I served with during my time. It was time for me to go for sure. Like we needed new talent, new leadership, new energy, and I think we're headed in a really great direction. It's going to be really cool to watch from the sidelines kind of where this goes and how it all develops. But what I wanted
So
to segue, oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how are you now in the past president role? Like, what is
No,
your?
I've already served
You've
past
already been
president.
past president. Okay.
I was just a director. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
So,
Okay.
and so what I kind of wanted to segue with that is that I think now more than ever with what's going on with NAVTA and their shakeup, with leadership in that, I think it is at least as important as ever, if not more so, to be involved in your state
Of
associations,
course, yeah.
because I think NAVTA has a long way to go to either gain or gain back our trust, our respect,
Mhm.
our belief in anything that they're doing, and frankly, what our membership dues actually go to. You know, when we look at if we look across our profession, what what is there on the national landscape? You know, not credentialing, not education, not reciprocity, like nothing applies on a national level,
Mhm.
basically. And that's not president to president. That's like that's a nav to mission,
Sure. Yeah.
and 20 years of presidents have to be focused on like advancing that kind of agenda. And it just there's nothing there. And so I think being involved in your state association, because again, the credential you have or the education you have to receive or the continuing education you have to get to maintain your license, all of that is going to come from your state. And I think now more than ever, it's important to be involved in your state association. So whether that's just being a passive member and a voting member and voting on elections and things, if you have the time to join committees or even run for board positions and actually be involved in making the change, I think now more than ever, your state associations need you. And if your state is one of the handful that doesn't actually have an active
Mhm.
association, figure out why. Network, talk to some people, see if you can get something going, because it's vitally important.
Yeah, yeah, and like I mean, we say this all the time. Like, if you want things to happen, if you want change to happen, if you want to be a part of that, you have to. There's power in numbers, and
Yeah,
if you don't have the numbers, then you. And
right.
we say this about NAFTA all the time, is that they're supposed to be our
Yeah.
national organization, and their
Do they even
membership
have
is
yeah,
is less than 10%
right, right.
of the total number of
Yeah.
technicians in the country. And not to make it a huge mark on them, but
Yeah, because California is no better. Like, our RVT
yeah, California's
association
no
is in the
better.
same
North
is in the
Carolina's
same
probably no
boat.
better. Yeah, all of the states are probably in that same
Yeah,
10 to 20% of
right,
their true technicians in their state. So, I mean, how can we expect NAFTA to have any
right,
better numbers if we can't get the state numbers?
right.
So yeah, small steps.
Yeah,
Join your state
absolutely.
organization, um, and if you can join NAFTA, great.
Yeah,
It's gonna give the membership numbers greater power
yeah,
to make some of these things happen. So I mean, you can't complain that things aren't happening if you're not involved.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, the next thing I kinda wanted to talk about, as you know, Molly, my wife, is a medical director for her hospital, and
Yep.
her hospital, January 1st. So when I worked, and this is the hospital I worked at when I went through my VTS process, I worked there for like 12 or 13 years. And it's always been the overnight weekend holiday ER model, right? Closed
Hmm.
during Monday through Friday, normal business hours, but open, when everybody else is closed. January 1st, they transitioned to 24 hours. They hired a couple of additional doctors,
Sure. Yep.
working on staffing, all of that. So the first Monday after the new year was going to be the first like normal day they were open.
Yeah.
Well, it was one of the new hired doctors who was going to work that first Monday shift. They had worked a weekend day shift
Hmm.
prior and basically quit after their weekend day shift.
Oh,
So the next day, they were supposed to be the first day, the Monday, and they had no doctor.
they had no coverage. Yeah.
And of course, none of the other doctors could do it because they were working other shifts and whatever else. And so Molly picked it up and worked that Monday day, which ended up being fine. But what I wanted to talk about was she felt like if she didn't work that shift, that it had already failed. The idea of moving to
Yeah.
24 hours had already failed, regardless of like out of their circumstances, out of their control. The doctor that was going to work that next day quit and whatever else. And it kind of got me thinking like, and I think we've talked about this before, that so often, like, we have these miserable shifts and we just pull together and we get through it and we're completely beat and burnt out and miserable because of it. But like nowadays, especially with corporatization of veterinary medicine, on the upper levels of management, they're not veterinary people. They're finance
Yeah,
people, right?
right.
They're spreadsheet people, and not to,
Marketing
no
people, yeah.
offense, marketing people, right? Like they're, and so all they see is, oh, well,
They see
they
the
got it
numbers, yeah.
done. Nobody died, and like we can actually do all this work with less.
Yep.
How are we actually going to change this? In my mind, how we're going to change this is actually, no, don't work that
Letting it
shift.
fail, yeah.
Close the hospital.
Yep.
Let it fail, because when you actually like, why didn't we have numbers this month? Why? Because we don't have the people that we need
Right.
to make the numbers. Like,
Yeah.
yes, we are caring for these patients, but we're providing poor patient care, not even adequate or mediocre patient care, not good patient care like we all want to practice. It's mediocre because we don't have the people. If you have to turn people away and you actually stop receiving for a period of time or close the hospital and numbers drop, that is what, in my mind, is going to tell those people, we can't do this. But if
Right.
we, and we are an empathetic group of people, right? We're always there for the patients and we always want to get this done and we don't want to leave patients and clients and whatever high and dry. But the more we do that, the thinner we spread ourselves. That's how we end up in this spot after years and years and years of doing that. And that's, I think, a huge reason why people leave the profession. And I hate the idea of letting it fail, but I don't know whether what other option there is. We have
Right.
tried this pulling together and making it work and all of that for years, if not decades now, and we are where we are. The only change is going to happen now if we change what we're doing, and I think, to me, that is, no, close the hospital. If you have 15 inpatients and you have 2 people, stop receiving. Close
Mm.
the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, it I don't, and then at the end of the month, say, "This is the revenue we missed out on because you are not
Because of
giving
yeah.
us the tools, i.e., the people, the resources we need to adequately move this forward. If you want those numbers, you have to give us more people."
Well, and also thinking about like, that's the doctor side. Like if you don't have a doctor, you can't be open, right?
Sure.
That's but I've seen it happen so many times that if tech staff, like if you've got the flu going through or COVID going through, you're out two, three, four, five people, they're still going to be open. They're still going to see
Mhm.
cases. It's just going to take infinitely much longer because you don't have the support staff.
Mhm.
With a doc on the doctor spectrum, yeah, if you don't have a doctor, you can't be open.
Right.
But I find that on the technician side, the assistant side, if you're short those people, they're still going to stay open because they figure
Yeah.
they'll make
Well,
it through.
and that's fine. Stay open, but adjust your caseload
Oh yeah, of
accordingly.
course.
That's my point,
But I
is
think they don't. I think
I
they
know,
don't.
I know exactly. That's what I'm getting at, is if you can't run a hospital as though it's fully staffed when it's not.
When it's not.
You,
Exactly.
like, full stop. Um, and so I think that's where we, as support staff, as leadership, as veterinarians, as whoever, like, that's where we need to band together and push back and say, no, we're not doing this. If you want those numbers, you need to give us what we need. And because I don't know, and maybe the corporate just ends up closing the hospital and it all blows up in our faces anyway. But then, like, we're
Well,
all going to find jobs. Like, there's never going to be a shortage of jobs.
and then just thinking from Molly's perspective, like she probably has that like guilt of like she's the medical director, right? At that
Mhm.
hospital.
Yeah.
So like she has the guilt of like this is my ship to run, and if it fails, then it looks poorly on me, not the corporate. And I get that. Um, but I understand her guilt part of it. I understand her going in to fill the shift because that's her ship
Yeah.
to run. If it
Yeah.
fails, it looks poor. It doesn't look the first place that they're going to look is not that, oh, we didn't have enough doctors. The first place is going to be like, who's the captain of of this ship and why did
Right.
they let it fail?
Well, and for me, like, that was the first day this hospital was gonna be
Yeah.
open, like, a Sunday night into a Monday. Why not just treat it like any other Monday morning, right? Discharge the patients to their primary vets like you did every morning, every
Yep.
Monday morning for the past 30 some years, that hospital has been open. Give the staff that was scheduled to work that Monday a PTO day and let them have
Yeah.
the day off,
Let them have the day off. Yeah.
because, like, truly, I think with what the stipend Molly got for working and whatever it cost for staff dollars that day and the first day of I think the hospital took a loss
Was
anyway.
a negative. Yeah.
So, like, take your L and
Regroup.
not overstretch all of
Yeah.
your people and, like, just eh, but again, like, that and that's not, that's, I don't mean to be I'm not picking on her or their hospital or
Of
anything.
course not.
I
Yeah.
think we as a profession need to get over this. We need to bind together and just get through it and push through it day after day after day after, like, that's why we don't last. And I think now, like, especially, like, it's one thing, Dave, you and I, when we first started, we worked for private ownership, and you worked with that hospital owner
Yep.
every day, and you
Yep.
maybe had more investment. But now there's 10 levels of pay
Yeah.
grades and management above anybody that's working on the floor.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Like, and that's, yeah, no, I'm going to
Well,
do what I'm going to do,
and
and that's
also
it.
when you think about like working with a private ownership, like, yeah, there was management in my first couple practices, single owners, but you could go to them and say, hey, I don't think I should be here, like,
Mhm,
I'm sick, and they'd be
mhm,
like, all right, go home.
yep,
And I think with private ownership, they have that like connection to their team members, and when it becomes corporate, there's no
there's a disconnect.
there's a disconnect. And I mean, that one of the downfalls of corporate ownership, I get that. um but I also like thinking of like the guilt, and we had a post about this not too long ago, about the guilt of having to show up
Mhm,
when you weren't at your best. And people commenting like, yeah, I feel this because I have the guilt of letting the team down, and making it so that I'm guilted into showing up. And I think we have to like appeal sometimes to the team members that aren't sick, the team members that are showing up and having to pick up the slack, and not being the source of that guilt for the people that are not able to come into work. Like, they're just as important in setting this right as the people that are sick and having guilt of not showing up. Because I think it was Becky that actually commented on one of them. Like, she was sick and she got a phone call from somebody that was working, kind of berating her, like, you
yeah,
should be here. Why are you not here?
yeah,
Um, that needs to stop.
yeah,
And
yeah.
again, we're not on the floor as much as we used to be. So like,
No, and
I don't know how that dynamic works anymore.
no,
But
and I
we
think
have to be
that
good about it.
comes from, like, the hospital is still going to structure their day as though that person is there,
Yeah.
and not actually adjust to being down a team member. And I
Yeah.
think that's what we need to do is just understand we're going to have to reschedule some appointments. We're going to have to cancel a surgery
Yep.
or two. And they do this in human medicine
All the time,
all the time.
with zero explanation too.
I don't know why in vet med we don't think that we
Yeah.
can. Um, Scale it down to the staff you have available that day.
Yep. And also
And
the public needs to be
absolutely, because
aware of that
truly,
and be accepting of that.
when it comes to, like, people that are working when they're sick, that's when mistakes happen
Yep. 100%.
because you're not rested, you're you don't have all your mental faculties. That's when mistakes happen.
If you're
So
not at your best, you can't give your best.
yeah. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to put that out there. I think I like that's one shift I want to see in veterinary medicine is if you're down people, scale down your
Yeah,
day and make it make it that way.
I
So
get it. Yeah. Well, and like normalize like the fact that just because you have an adequate roster doesn't mean you're fully staffed.
Yeah. Yeah. Also. Yep. Yep.
There's a T-shirt in there somewhere.
Somewhere for sure. For sure. At least a sticker. So we've had a couple of really cool recent episodes. We had Vicky O'Grain on recently, VTS and Nutrition, talked a lot about nutrition and also kind of working in the industry side with her career at Hills. That was great conversation. We always get to see her at Hive and at IVEX.
Yep.
So it's great to finally have her on. Our most recent episode with Kat Walker was
Always
another
great to talk to her. Yeah.
always great to talk to her, and it's been so cool to actually like get to meet her and chat with her a little bit in person at the last couple of IVEX. She's somebody now I look forward to seeing every year, and that was really interesting conversation about mediation in vet med. Of course, we always like to talk to people that are blazing their own path. Probably not many veterinary technicians or veterinary nurses who have a law degree and then come into this profession. So probably not something that's applicable to a lot of people.
Why would you leave a law profession to come into the like just looking at the financial part of it? Like why would you leave law to come to?
But it's fascinating that she's been able to integrate the two and actually like forge a path, and I think that was really, really fascinating conversation. So and then we've got a couple of great episodes coming up. We're actually going to record one later tonight
in like 8 hours.
With a good friend of ours, and we're going to be talking about vintage vet tech life. Basically just a conversation for the older folks, or if you're younger or newer to this profession, what you have to look forward to in 20 or 30 years, provided you still work in vet med then. And another episode with a good friend of ours who now works in AI in vet med for like an AI kind of record keeping, I think, software kind of company. So that'll be a really, really cool conversation.
Well, and she's someone we were going to have on a couple years
ago,
but then,
a while
like
back.
Her career path changed and she had to back off, and so it'd be great to actually finally get to talk to her about AI and maybe touch on what happened previously and why she kind of moved.
She kind of left vet med for a little while and kind of regrouped and kind of found her way back in this niche, which AI is, of course, all the rage. I'll admit, Dave, I've told you I've never used AI. Like I don't have ChatGPT. I wouldn't know where to start. You've sent me some stuff. We've kind of been game planning about starting a side baseball podcast, you and I, and you kind of put some stuff in and it spit out a whole bunch of really cool stuff
great
that
information
we may use. So I know that the benefit is there. It's just in the role I have and the work I do, we haven't integrated AI yet. I know on the back end they're working towards that and it's coming in my job. But so I'm kind of a lame duck, AI person. I haven't used it yet. So it'll be a fascinating conversation for me to kind of look into to all that. So and then what we're going to do too, we kind of briefly touched on merch a little earlier. We're going to kind of start putting stuff out and having discount codes that are kind of like in conjunction with episodes that are coming out and kind of release some posts of either shirts or whatever that are kind of topical to either our guest, maybe the country they're joining us from, or maybe that'll be the discount code. Like we're going to have like the vintage vet techs thing. We're going to have our guest she's in the States now, but she's originally from Canada. So Canada will be the discount code for like our
You're leaking the discount
tech
code already.
Hey, we don't even have it up yet, so it's not even active.
Oh yeah, that's true. The code isn't. The code will be active after the episode uploads.
Yep. So, but anyway, we're going to kind of tie some of that stuff in and just make it a little bit of fun that way. So, so keep an eye out.
We're going to have
to
revamp our whole merch store because
it basically got shut down.
A lot of the products we had didn't really sell, so they just took them off without telling us. And so I've over the last 24-ish hours, I've been going in and like redesigning some of the stuff. And I finally made the baseball / softball 3/4 sleeve shirt that you've been harping on me to make for at least 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
I think since we started going to Phoenix, you've been bugging me to do this. And finally today I was like, all right, I'm doing it today. What do you think of these? Give me the fonts you want.
Yeah,
Tell me how you want it to look,
I
and
love it.
it'll be up on the site probably this afternoon if I can get around to it. Maybe
I
tomorrow.
love it. I'm gonna buy one,
You'll
and
be the first one.
I'm gonna wear it to Hive, I'm gonna wear it to spring training.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love it. I'm looking forward to it. So, anyway, keep
good
an eye out for
times.
the some of that fun stuff coming. Otherwise, I think that's all we had.
I think that's it, and we'll be recording like you said, we'll be recording in a few hours
Yep,
with our next guest, and this audio will upload this Sunday, and the episode we're recording tonight will be uploaded the 25th, I
25th.
believe.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
Yeah,
Which will be 11 months till Christmas.
sure.
All right, caffeinators. We hope you guys are well. Happy New Year to you all. We'll see you again in February from the Vet Tech Tap Room. Otherwise, we will see you a week from Sunday in the Vet Tech Cafe.
Bye, everybody.